Bye. Hi, Lofian. How are you doing? Where are we off to this morning?
Seymour Narrows in Campbell River.
What do we think about the 70-foot powerboat that held us in this morning?
Well, in one way, it was frustrating because we wanted to leave a little bit earlier, but I think we'll be okay. But another way, we met a family very up into, so that's always nice.
How would you describe people on that boat?
Well, they were quite relatively inexperienced.
I would say American. We've just set off. We had some snags. We were trying to leave, and the person on the boat that was kind of parking us in wasn't there. Even though we told him that we'd be leaving at this time. And then he walked up nonchalantly on the phone. He's like your stereotypical American voter. That's who he is. He's actually behind us. He's trying to make the same pass we're trying to make, but he's actually not that far behind, so he's probably fine. We also went to the fuel dock, and this boat just zoomed in front of us. Let's check in with the younger friends among us. How are you doing, Chutney? Hi, Lofian. How are you doing? Sleepy. So we're just here. We're heading through these narrows, and you have to hit it at the exact right time, or it can be potentially dangerous and very bad. So 1:30 is the time that we need to hit it. You want to be there around an hour before, 45 minutes before, so you can start going through before it starts going against you. We have the current with us right now, so we're actually going 9.5 knots, which is insane for this boat.
Going through the Seymour
Yeah.
Narrows.
Yeah. I've been explaining. You doubt me.
We're already seeing some eddies on the water. But, not very big, but you can imagine that when they're not throwing the boat around, you can imagine they would.
Yeah.
Almost instant.
A boat ahead of us that was going about our speed has gained. They just entered the Narrows, and they gained about a knot. So, Mom, how many times did it take microwaving your coffee before you finished it?
I think it was just the once, was it? Twice.
Twice.
Oh, it was twice.
At least. Look at that house hanging over the edge. Yesterday we spent the day provisioning. We made a massive long list of everything we would need for the next couple months, and then we went to the store, and how long were you in the store, Mom?
I actually don't think what time did we enter? Because I know
I don't know, but we must have been in there for at least
2 hours at least, maybe more.
that seems low. I think we were in there for at least 2 hours. I didn't even know if it was day or night. You know, I've lost all decision-making ability. But I think we stayed pretty close to our list. And I think if we hadn't had our list, we would have either not bought enough or bought too much, or who knows. But we stayed solid to our list. And we came back with 2 whole shopping carts full of stuff.
Okay, here's the bigger provisioners. 3 months supply of food. Cam
we did just that.
goes by the book.
What?
He doesn't skip.
I can put that in.
Okay, big cruise ship. And there goes Cam. And there goes Fiona. And they've got more food than the cruise ship carries.
And thankfully the shopping carts didn't seize up when they left the parking lot, and we brought them all the way down to the boat.
And actually luckily it was higher tide, so that the ramp going down the gangway wasn't too steep, because that would have been really tricky.
And we brought the shopping carts all the way to the boat and unloaded. And it took us late into the night, like 11 p.m., to actually get everything packed away. And we made a mistake and we didn't pack the freezer stuff into the freezer first, which was silly. He's so scared of this Narrows we're about to go to that he's covering his eyes. Look at him. It's starting to get a bit rough. There's big eddies as we kind of go into the passage here. A cargo ship behind us told us to get out of the way. Even after we said our name correctly on the radio in response to him, like, many times, he just kept saying, like, family. Our boat is named Pumbili. Fambili is an acceptable choice for your first time. He didn't even put in any effort. No, zero. Here we go. You can see the little eddies, little things on the water. They're starting to move our boat around.
I'd like to check in with the RCC, please.
Luckily, there's not a lot of wind, so it's just the current we have to worry about. This big tug has told us to go to the side, yet where we are now is a little bit of a back eddy, so where the main current is going with us, this one's going against us in a little part of the channel. And so we were only going 5.7 knots. We're now going 7 knots again, so we're starting to get back up to our normal speed. But we're not getting the benefit of the channel. Although the passage doesn't look too narrow, with all the water from the wider channel going into this small area, it just causes a lot of current and eddies and things. At the peak of the current in this passage, it gets up to 16 knots. Luckily we're here at slack. Well, not luckily, with hard planning. We're here at slack, and it's only running at a couple knots at this point. Right now we're actually going pretty similar to our normal speed, maybe 1 knot faster, because we're kind of at the side where the current is a little less. We would like to move across, but there's the big ship that's passing us. We have our VHF radio inside, so the person at the helm doesn't necessarily have access to it unless we have a handheld out there. So I'm on radio duty. You belong to me. Oceans rise, empires fall. So after we get through these narrows, we're going to be going for about 8 nautical miles more, and it's going to be shifting from the ebb that's with us. It's the ebb that's with us?
No, the ebb's north and flows south, opposite of south of
Yeah, so the ebb's with us, but it's dying off, and it's gonna start flooding soon enough. So we need to get into port before the flood gets too bad. So that's why we're only gonna make it about 8 nautical miles further today. So it's a short day, but it's dramatic. It's going super smoothly through this passage, and that is all because of prep work and making sure that we're here at the perfect time to go through. If you go through this rapids at the wrong time, or you haven't thought it through before you go through, it could be very dangerous. Mom checking all the sources to find the best bay to anchor in, or the best spot to anchor in Canish Bay.
A couple of good options. Hey, is a good stuff.
We're going into an anchorage. I just had a nap. We're going into an anchorage that's through this really tight little passage. Only really accessible at high tide. So we're gonna make it through now, and then we're gonna leave just before the ebb tomorrow morning, which will leave us at a high tide as well.
Okay.
11 feet.
Why did you slow down a bit?
14 feet.
Mom, what does it feel like we're getting into?
Feels like we're getting into the wilderness. A bit bored, you know?
Yeah, finally we're at an anchorage where it's gonna be just like us on a couple other boats, or one other. Looks like there's one boat in here.
Yeah. That's right. I think the anchorage that they were recommending is on the south. We'll have to look.
5 feet.
Bye! This is the closest we're gonna get to a drone shot for now. So there's just a fishing boat in there, anchored over that side. We're gonna be anchoring on the south side over here. Let's test the water temp. Doable.